New documents obtained by Fox News suggest alleged Army deserter Bo Bergdahl converted to Islam in captivity and then proclaimed himself, quote, a warrior for Islam. Our next guest compares Bergdahl to Benedict Arnold and says resentment toward him grew as Americans died searching for him. Retired Army Sergeant Jordan Vaughn served in the 501st Parachute Division with Bo Bergdahl, and he joins us now. Mr. Vaughn, thanks for coming on this morning. So some on the left, defenders of President Obama, have blamed you and your unit for his desertion. I want to put up on the screen, I don't know if you've seen it, an excerpt from a New York Times editorial that makes that point. Quote, and a classified military report shows that Sergeant Bergdahl walked away from assigned areas at least twice before he had returned, according to a report in the Times. It describes him as a free-spirited young man who asked many questions but who gave no indication of being a deserter, let alone the turncoat that Mr. Obama's opponents are now trying to create. If anything, the report suggests that the Army unit's lack of security and discipline was as much to blame for the disappearance, given the sergeant's history. In other words, some on the left are saying, it's your fault. You were flaky. That's why he left. Is that what you witnessed as a member of that unit?
No, it's not. There was no breakdown in morale or discipline. No one else walked off. No one else did anything like this. Only Bo did this. So I would completely disagree with that and, you know, encourage them to release maybe more details from this Army investigation. And,
so it's your belief that he voluntarily walked away from his post. Do you believe that he voluntarily joined anti-American forces, the Haqqani network of the Taliban?
I wasn't there with him in captivity, so I can't really say, but it's shady at best.
Yes. Now, you're hearing Democrats claim and the White House claim that no Americans were killed in the search efforts for Bo Bergdahl. You say that's untrue.
That's absolutely untrue. Several Americans did die. I was there for one of them. I personally knew several others. That's completely untrue and easily verified beyond that.
So how does it make you feel? You say you watched someone you know killed by small arms fire in the search for Bo Bergdahl. The White House is saying that never happened. How does it make you feel?
We don't really want to get into the politics, the guys from the unit and myself, but I think it's a pretty outrageous claim to kind of pretend that all these, you know, first-person sources and everyone that was there is just not credible. You know, we're guys that served for the country in Afghanistan, and then to just now say that we're not credible sources after our service and looking for this guy that they're now, you know, lauding his return, it's an outrageous claim.
Taking out the politics, just as a factual matter, when you heard National Security Advisor Susan Rice describe Bo Bergdahl as someone who, quote, served with honor and distinction, what was your response?
I think she's completely mischaracterizing his service. It was absolutely not with honor and distinction. He made the choice to join the Army. He went to Afghanistan. That's great. But you can't just look at what you're currently doing. You have to look back. And looking back, he left the unit. He abandoned the post. You know, he deserted. It was not at all with honor and distinction. And it's an insult to say that to everyone who did go over there and serve their time and come back.
Was it clear to you from the beginning that he deserted his post?
It was clear to everyone that he deserted his post, which is why it's so unbelievable that they would try to represent this as capture on the battlefield. Everyone knew. I mean, there's hundreds, thousands of us that knew that this was desertion.
What about your commanding officer?
Exactly the same. This was very clear to everyone there.
Interesting. Mr. Vaughn, that's a really interesting account, and I appreciate you bringing it to us this morning, this early on a Saturday morning. Thanks a lot for coming on.
No problem.